Howdy, y'all. Today I'm going to be planting some russet potatoes. Going to be seeing if they'll grow into the springtime because it is winter time. Let's get to it. I was just digging up a little bit of an area on several spots around my house and just going to be planting the russet potato pieces where there's already spots growing out of the eyes. I know normally you wait and you just have the eyes and you put it in there, but I was actually waiting a little bit longer just to have the little sprouts coming out. So I'll be putting those in here. As you can see, there are a few extra of the red potatoes that I didn't get from the last harvest, and I've just left them in there in case they sprout again. They're more of a volunteer plant because that's what they're called. If they come back a second time around, they're considered a volunteer plant. So maybe those will grow some more, we'll see. But I'm going to be planting these about, and I'll be keeping an eye on them. And I do have to put them a little bit down so that way different critters don't get to them, whether it be a raccoon or a possum, anything like that. Even coyotes going around, who knows what they'll eat. And so just going to be burying this down and just cutting them up so that way in their nice little chunks. And just going to be spreading them out. It may not quite be the best timing for it, but it's just going to be a little bit of an experiment to see if they do grow. Most of the stuff I do have to get from the grocery store, but it'd be nice if I could get a little bit of stuff from just growing around the house. And it'd just be really nice if that happened because it saves a little bit extra money. It's wonderful kind of keeping track what's growing. Is it bell peppers? Is it tomatoes? Is it the avocados? Is it this or is that? Gonna get some lemons, all that good stuff, maybe some peaches, some plums. And I'm very confined for space because I live in Los Angeles, so there's not much space for me to do this. And I just find every little nook and cranny I can try and do stuff and just experiment because I don't know if it works in this soil until I try it. And it's kind of hit or miss in the area I live in on what plants do well, because a lot of things say they will do well, but they don't. And some things that aren't supposed to do well actually surprise me, and they do very well. So I'm very excited to see what will happen with these. And I'm just going to put a bunch of them in one spot because I'm not having the highest expectations for them. So I'm just kind of grouping them all together. I'm just going to keep them all in a similar spot along part of the house. So I'm just really excited about that. Just going to be keeping it in good clumps and watering it somewhat often, not too regularly, because there's a high possibility for weeds, especially with watering too much. But as I've seen before with the red potatoes, I basically didn't water them and they came out great. So I'm hoping with the rainy months coming up for here in Los Angeles that the rain will do a lot of the work for me and I don't really have to worry about watering. And since it's not summer, it's not going to dry out too much. But also what's great is I have these wood chips that go over it and it keeps the moisture in the ground. Even if it's a heavy dew or just a foggy day, it will keep the moisture in there more, which is fantastic. And so it doesn't dry out the soil. But if I do water, it keeps the water in there for a lot longer, especially deeper down because it just doesn't dry out the dirt. Because the sun will just suck that moisture right out, especially this dirt. So that's where the wood chips come in very handy. And I am wanting to experiment with the rubber chips, if they will do as good a job, if not better, than the wood ones. Because they look very similar, but the rubber ones obviously don't break down like the wood ones do, because then I have to keep buying more and more wood chips. But the rubber ones, I think they last a lot longer. So I'm wanting to experiment with that some more, see if it keeps the moisture in the soil a bit longer and it'll look better as well. So that'll be very interesting to find out. And obviously I'll keep you all posted if I get that done. But just going to be putting a bunch of clumps here together. If they all grow, then great. Might just be one huge potato crop grown together. But if not, it's no big loss. It puts a little bit of extra nutrients in the soil, gets a little bit of the decomposing vegetable in the soil. So that way, if there's something else that's going in there, it might have some extra nutrients from that just kind of decomposing a little bit. And again, I'm going to try and get some clumps on top of this and then going to cover it up with the wood chip some and just going to keep an eye on it. So obviously I'll keep you all posted on it and I will be buying more russet potatoes from the store just to be being able to do this stuff now before this crop is supposed to be harvested. So I will be looking forward to doing more stuff with russet potatoes very soon. Hope y'all enjoyed.